That's it. We are live on what is the day today? Tuesday, the 5th of March, 2019. I was thinking in my mind that music dun 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 dun, dun to announce you coming on the channel, Bling Bling, on the beginning of your videos. But anyway, we are with Bling Bling, the BS of the ISS channel. Oh, sorry, messages are coming through now. Who has joined us today to talk about a few things, haven't you, Bling Bling?
I sure have. Hello, everyone. Hello, Karen. And hello everyone darling. In the chat. Who do we have? We have Nimble Horse. We have Brian. We have Ricky. We have Conan. And, we have 14 watching now. So, anyone else? I think I mentioned everyone's names. D, someone named Dell. Hello, everyone. So, yes, today we are going to look at some footage. And I want you to be like my eyeballs. Because often people will say, I don't see it. And, because when I look at footage, what I do is I use my iPhone to start. So everything is very tiny and I use magnification. So I have all the pixels there. And that makes a huge difference. So but then I have to make a video and I have to enlarge things and it dilutes your pixels. So things become blurry.
And I noticed that on a bit of video I was doing, that the more you zoomed in, the more pixelated it got.
Absolutely. So it's a fine line and it's difficult. So I suggest for people, if you really ever do want to clearly see what I see, get yourself a cheap pair of magnification glasses on Amazon or whatever. And, then you can really see all those details that I just can't show in my videos. So today it's like I want to go over some footage that's never been seen and some that has. Because I don't think a couple of, and I'm in no way whatsoever trying to give myself any credit because I'm not, but I just feel that some of the things that I have pointed out haven't gotten enough attention like they should because it's pretty bizarre. And it makes absolutely no sense unless it's contrived in a warehouse and they are all lying to us. So that's why we're here today.
Truth, Bling Bling. That's the truth.
And hello to Midnight Gardener, who's also joined us.
Yeah, hello Midnight Gardener. Hello chat room, everybody in the chat room. So what do you want to do? Do you want to share then?
I sure do.
Okay, I just wait. That's it. It's on me now. Yeah, I'm just putting it on me to make sure that it doesn't go out. But anyway, go for it, Bling Bling.
Yes, we don't want to be porn bombed now, do we? All right. So the first thing that I want to do, if I can get this to work, is go here. Hold on. Bear with me.
That's it. And don't come off that until
I'm not. I'm staying right here. I've made a special folder for SAMFU. All right. So I think that the first thing we're going to go through is the one that irks me the most. Is the man that dashes across the screen. I have, and just as a side note, lately I've noticed, and I don't know if anyone here in the chat makes their own content, but lately I am unable to download videos off of YouTube from the sources that I use. So what I've been doing lately is screen recording. And until they can find a way to stop that, I really don't know why this is happening. And I have a lot of different downloaders that I use, and none of them work. I get these parson errors, which make no sense because I can go to other...
Bling Bling, I bet you they wish that we'd never watched any of them.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I could go to like a nail tutorial channel and download that footage, no problem. But when I go to try with the footage that I normally am downloading, which is something nefarious from ESA or NASA or JAXA, I get a parson error message. So, all right. Now, I don't know if making this larger is going to help or not, but I am going to start it. So here we go. I'm just going to play it straight out. Now, this actually may be the one that they've now deleted the man running across the screen. So, and I think it is. Oh no, there he is. Keep it running. They actually have removed him from a video that I found because I was looking for it again, and I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and he wasn't there. So I know that they've monkeyed like they can. All right, now can everyone see this?
Yeah.
See this guy? This black. What on the other side of this? What it is the Canada arm, which they say they use to grapple the the different space modules and all the new things that are coming to them with supplies, and very soon SpaceX will be sending astronauts. So on the other side of this screen is where they sit working this Canada arm. So this is just a panel screen so they can see the Canada arm. It's not a window. This is the reflection of somebody that's standing somewhere back behind the camera, and he goes into the shot, and what happens is he realizes his mistake, he leaves, and then a couple seconds later, whoop, he runs right by again. Karen, are you watching the chat?
I am.
I want to know what people are saying.
Play it again, Bling Bling.
I am. But I'm just going to move him here. There he is. You see? The light areas is his skin.
All right. You're talking about, show where you're pointing to on the glass. You're talking on the glass, aren't you?
Right. Yes, this guy right here. This little image. And like I said, the first time I ever saw it, I saw it in my iPhone. And I was wearing jeweler's glasses. So I was able to magnify it while keeping the pixels pretty close to what they were. So I could see it very clearly. I could even see his hairline. But I can't show what I see with my eyes on a video. So people will go, I don't see it. I don't know what you're looking at. And it is frustrating for me because I know what I'm seeing, and it's very hard to get to show you what I'm actually seeing. So that's the whole point of today's show, is to try, once again, to show people on the content that I put out what it is that I'm actually seeing.
I know what you're talking about. We were talking about that just before we went live, weren't we? And the fact that you almost, by the time you finish that bit, you've almost memorized what's going to happen. The whole bit you're watching.
Absolutely, you spend hours and hours studying footage to be absolutely sure, and not see images in clouds and faces in clouds, because I've done that, where it's like I was so sure in one photograph that all the scuba divers were lying all around inside the photograph, and then they weren't actually. I was wrong, and I just scrapped the whole video I was making. So yeah, we make mistakes. I make mistakes. But this guy, no. He comes in, and let me just play it just the way it works. And again, right there, you see him? And he's gone.
Yeah. He's got and guess what? He's got no mask on.
Well, you can't really see it. I mean, it's very difficult to see whatever it is that his head looks small, but again, it's a reflection, so it's not going to be perfect. But there looks like he is holding something in his left hand. I don't know what he was going to sit down somewhere, and then realizes that he can see himself in that reflection.
Does he, Bling Bling?
No, if he is, then he's dead, because he's in the void of space where there's no oxygen, and he wouldn't survive it. So this, to me, is the ultimate proof right here, that this apparent spacewalk filmed by an astronaut is a forge. It's not real. Now, They're telling us this is our home here, this globe, and this space station. Now, we're either all wrong and we live on a globe, and if that was ever found to be true, we would live with that. But I will never accept that the footage that they're showing us is real because of things like this. Now, if we were wrong and there is a space station, they're never showing us what's really there and what they're really doing, because we've seen far too much to be able to like agree that, okay, that's real. We know that they're faking all of that. So why would they be faking all of that? Why would they want to show us something else? Like my husband, well, they went to the moon, but they just show you the actual footage. Like that makes no sense. Why not show the actual footage? Why fake it in a studio? Just like this. If this was real, then this would be all just being faked in a studio and they have a real space station. That makes no sense. And since we know that NASA lied about the moon landings and everything else, including the very first moon walk, why would they stop lying? So anyone in the chat not see this dude? Is there anyone in the chat that cannot see this?
Chat room.
Yeah, you watch the chat, Karen, because I'm going to actually try making this. I'm just going to make it smaller. Don't look at my screen to get distracted, so you can see it just a little bit brighter. All right, because it just makes the little guy a little smaller, you see, but that makes him a little bit darker. See him? And then he's going to run by. Boom! There he goes. What are they saying in the chat, Karen? Anyone not
where
see
are the 25,000 pieces of space junk floating around?
Well, we all know that's a bunch of BS as well. But is anyone actually not see this little dude? That's
Can
really
you just if you play it again, just put your arrow where they're supposed to be looking, just in case they can't.
Do we have anyone that actually doesn't even know where to look? I hope not. See my arrow right here? Can everyone see me moving it around? All right, that's where we're looking, okay? All right, I'm going to press play. All right, there's the guy. And he out of this shot, and then he's going to run by. And then that's it.
Yeah, with the footage, that I'm talking about.
See?
Literally, you have like, what is it? 2 seconds, a second? And that's
I know you don't have a lot of time. So I'm just scrubbing it with my finger back and forth. See? In and out. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. All right. And you can see, I mean,
that is
he's holding something in his hand. His arm.
You see so much slow motion.
His purple, to me, it looks like a purple color. Whatever he's wearing. Looks like bare arm. His head. He's holding something. All right. You see? And he gets up. So you can just barely sort of see his bottom portion of his body as he gets up, realizing that, oh, shoot, I can't be in this. I'm in the way. I got to get out of here. He came in, sat down, realized his mistake, left, see, leaves, and then comes back, running like a banshee. Real quick. So you can still see the purple, and the light color is his skin, and it's really impossible to see him because he runs by so quickly. He's like a bat out of hell. And then that's it. Any questions? No questions?
Looks like a white coat. Del says that. Del CJE says looks like a white coat.
A white coat?
Nimble Horse says it's a model with a green screen.
Oh, you think what he's carrying in his hand, you mean? It's pretty small.
Wide Awake says it's done in a studio.
It looks fat. Maybe it's his sack of lunch. He thought he was going to sit down there and enjoy his lunch and realize, and maybe they yelled, "Get out of the shot! You're in the way!" And then like, oh shit, I guess I have to go eat my, my ravioli, my can of ravioli somewhere else. All right. So that one is done. Let's talk about this photo. This is a nice high definition photograph that I got right from NASA. But this reflection is pretty standard now. I noticed that they use this a lot. But let's just check out like their heads. Look at this Japanese guy with his neck bent to take the pressure off of his neck. Because if he was holding himself like this and had his neck straight out, it would take a lot of strength in your neck muscles to hold it there, and it's uncomfortable. So bending it up takes the pressure off. And the same with this one. Even little chunky man down here, Scott Tingle, is even doing it because he's like, has NASA truly lowered their standards so much that they now bring middle-aged, out-of-shape men onto the space station? Like, really? Growing up as a child, I always envisioned astronauts to be like the pinnacle of good health and slim, nice physiques and maybe some muscles. Like, this guy's soft, flabby, and completely fat and out of shape. Yet this is your astronaut. This is your American astronaut here. Just makes no sense. But look at these necks, all bent. And this guy, this dude here, right here, this one, let me do it. Won't let me take a screenshot while we're doing this live. Is that, maybe it won't, but I have a backup. Hold on. I have that photo already in my SAMFU file.
Hey.
So, where is it? Well, maybe it's at the bottom. Maybe I didn't put it in. I think that's right here. There he is. So I turned him upside down and look at his eyes. Have you ever been upside down and felt, and I don't know what other word to use but gravity, so please excuse me. I'm using it in a very loose tense, in a very loose way, because we don't believe in gravity, but we do know that things fall down, and we know that our weight of our skin upside down would be hanging up or down towards the ground. So I believe that this man is upside down, and you can tell by his puffy face here, the way his wrinkles are. As we get older, it gets scary to lean forward into a mirror. Right, Karen? I mean, I don't know how old people are in the chat, but as you age, and your skin loosens, the last thing you want to do is bend forward and look in a mirror, unless you want to totally depress yourself, especially as a woman. Of course, for men, they age, they get more sexy. For women, we age, and we're just like, we're done. But Anton here is definitely upside down. No question about that. All right, let's go back in for the goodies. All righty. Okay, this is interesting, and I just find it odd, but I see this so often. These weird lights in the reflections, this weird ceiling parts, like, you see the way it's kind of shaped, and it has nothing to do with this container, that it's shaped like this. These lights here, and I mean, I don't know their technologies. It's probably so much more advanced than what we have access to, but perhaps this thing, whatever it is what they use to be able to use to green screen out all of their props and their own body harnesses. It's just because I see it often in most reflections when they're standing in front of an airlock door, or if I see it in a camera lens. I've often seen that, and I wondered to myself how important that is. I just a little side note there. I just thought that was a little bit strange. Now, I'm kind of kicking myself because I had this footage and Flat Earth Brothers made a video about it, and I swear that I had this footage and I never bothered to do anything with it. Kind of forgot about it, but he did make a video on it. So I'm going to take sound off of it. It's not needed. People will often say, like how could they fool everyone? I think the bigger the lie, the easier it is. Like if you look at all these people that are innocent to this, all these guys in the hard hats, that they don't know what's going on. This is pad 39, obviously. The same pad SpaceX will be using when they send live astronauts. This is the pad that has the special slide that goes into that padded room. And, all these guys at their computer terminals, all being fed like fake information. And here's your rocket. And it's like, how could they lie like this? And, but they did, and they do, and they continue to do it. And we all believe it. But this is the first American actual spacewalk. And there's a couple of real serious problems with this footage. And
Bling Bling, can you stop that? Because you get strike for playing that.
Why would I get a strike for playing it? I'm commentating it. I show this footage all the time.
Just run, jump through it. Honestly, people got striked for showing that.
I can't see why when it's being critiqued, but I would fight that. All right.
Yeah, don't play it. Just stop it and just put it through.
All right. Please. All right. Well, I got to find what I'm looking for now. That's his space gun. That's what they called it. It was supposed to like jetson him around. This is just, how did he say it? This is just amazing. Okay. I have a screenshot and I'm going to show you this sun in a minute. But whoops. Go away. Oh, look what I did. Go away. I don't know why that won't go away. There we go. I have no secrets. Look at this. Okay. All right. I have no idea what happened there. All right.
Sorry, Bling. You're still playing it. Stop it. Because honestly,
I'm scrubbing it. There. Okay. Right here. Guys, do you see?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
The room. And you see these two men here. There's a man here. Probably a man back there. Lights. Ceiling lights.
Oh my goodness.
And we got 1, 2, and 3 guys in an office or wherever this is. This is supposed to be space. This is White on his first spacewalk on Gemini 4, and that is impossible. But people will say, how could they fake this? All these people involved. It's impossible. Well, they did it, and people believe it. And this was the first spacewalk. So basically, the big lie really started right here. And they really screwed up because they were pretty stupid and not thinking about reflections. And I love reflections. I go after that more than anything on my channel. And there you go. Can everybody see that?
Damn well can.
In the chat room.
See the ceiling in his visor?
And you can see these 2 dudes. Actually 3, the chubby one here, and here. Maybe if I were to just make it a little smaller. Whoops.
But that's what I was saying, Bling Bling. The reason that
I can't make it any smaller than that.
When you slow it down. It's when you slow the footage down, you get to see it.
But there you go, guys. There is the first spacewalk that they told the world when they used, the front screen projection. They had a video of, an Earth spinning. And of course, they didn't show even a globe. They just showed Earth underneath them. So that was real. Someone just went in a high altitude plane and got nice footage of of the sky and clouds, and then they played that behind the astronaut. And as he was on his wires or however they did it, and yes, green screen technology actually existed back then. It was actually, I think they invented it in 1903 or something. I was reading on the history of it. It's been around for a long time. So they were able to do this no problem. And there you go. There's an office of people that are all in on this lie. What a bunch of creeps. Now I have a photo of, and I've monkeyed with it with the resolution and the brightness so we could really bring out the sun reflection that he had in his helmet. And you can see a circle and a square. That's a studio light right there, which doesn't even matter at this point because we've already seen the office and all of the people standing around. But there you go. There is a fake sun. So now they just fake it that much better. And sadly, soon enough,
well, they just use studio lights and pretend that that's the sun.
They did. They did. And eventually, we're not going to be able to ever find mistakes when, when they finally get the new space station that's going to be orbiting the moon. They're probably going to fix a lot of the problems that they had with the space station, so maybe we'll be able to see
there's going to be a new space station.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Just another way. It's such a lie to funnel the money.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just a way of using to get the money. They pretend that 53 whatever millions going in and they take 50 odd million out.
Oh, that's chump change considering what the newest endeavor is going to be. Well, China is also going to be making a new space station, so hopefully they're going to continue with how poorly they do things.
What do you make of the fact that they reported in the paper the other day that the moon is in our atmosphere? They don't need another space station, then, do they?
Well, that was great timing for them to now start saying that they're going to be orbiting the moon, so they don't have to worry about the Van Allen radiation belts anymore. Right? Like, if
it's in our atmosphere, then it can't be 260,000 miles away, can it?
Mm-hmm. Sure. But in fact, Canada just recently, as of last week, came out and they're going to be participating in this lunar orbiting platform gateway that the U.S. is going to be making. And Canada has committed $2 billion of Canadian taxpayers' money to help to propagate this lie. And they're going to be making the arm and other components in Quebec, where I used to live. So it's pretty upsetting as a Canadian to know that Canadians are going to be robbed of $2 billion over 24 years. So it's going to take a long time to get this going. And then they're saying they're going to go to Mars after that. So do you see how they're pushing back the whole going to Mars by now having this lunar orbiting gateway that they're going to be making? So they're changing the plans now so they can just keep pushing that back because it's too much of a lie. They want to get the funds coming in, but they don't want to be able to actually have to do anything. So they could just
dangling a carrot in front of everybody's noses because they just want the money, like you say, to keep trickling in.
Absolutely. So here's my my chair that I found on an astronaut's wrist on a spacewalk, and I don't think anyone can disagree and say I can't see the chair. What I've been thinking a lot and doing a lot of research, and I believe that this is being done in Star City in Russia, and I believe that all these other silver components that you're seeing is the the stands that they've built to support these modules that they created to put inside these buoyancy pools. So this is all part of it, and this chair is at the bottom, and you can see the floor. So it's the bottom of the pool, and it's probably like a rest area because, I mean, if you've ever, had a tank on your back and you've ever done scuba diving, you still get tired. You're swimming around, you need a rest. Well, they can just plop themselves down in here and sit there and just have a breather, or maybe this keeps them out of the shot. But it's definitely a chair, and there it is on a spacewalk from an astronaut's wrist, because you know how they have those little mirrors, that they use because apparently they can't bend forward enough with their helmet on to be able to see in front of them. So that's why they have these mirrors here. That's what
I'm
they tell
not
us.
sure how clear everybody sees things, but that definitely isn't a reflection of the ISS space station as space, is it?
No. Now I can tell you even further, and I know you cannot see it. That's why I tell you that when I look in using my iPhone and I find things, I can see the details that you can't. And at first I thought this was some kind of a bag, but actually what I've realized is there is an opening right here, and there is a person right here. I saw them. You can sort of see right here the part of their face and kind of a reddish shirt. I know it's almost impossible, but on my iPhone, I could see it. I can't show you it here. It's impossible, but that doesn't matter. There's a chair here. This is a chair. And in the buoyancy pool, I believe, underwater, and these pools are like 80 feet deep. I believe they have a viewing area of windows right across like the whole length of the pool where these people sit that are, involved in this trickery, probably instructing like the people that are fooling you on what they need to be doing, like the scuba divers, where they need to be, and yada, yada, yada. Because apparently during the spacewalks that they show us live, when they have them, sometimes they'll say that the astronaut, is trying to unscrew something or do something and he's having trouble. They will apparently go into the buoyancy pool at Johnson in Houston, get into their pool and try to work out the problem. So they can't be doing this trickery in the Johnson space buoyancy pool in Houston. And it would be pretty stupid for them to be doing it there anyways, because it's a little bit too public. I believe in Star City in Russia, because they have the same pool there, much easier to hide the astronauts, considering they were launched out of Baikonur, which is right by Russia. So once they, launch out of there on the rocket and they go down the slide and they go into the rubber room bunker and they get, hidden away and they get to the buoyancy lab, and they get set up to fake the spacewalk right there. They don't have to travel to the US to do it. They do it there. I think they probably stay in Star City the entire time while they're fooling us.
That's what annoyed me, Bling Bling, this bit about when they always look like they're arguing with Russia. It's just a load of rubbish.
It is. Of course it is. This whole thing is, it's maddening and it's upsetting. And I get to the point where it's like, I want to do something more than this, more than just studying footage, like for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours like I do. I'd like to start doing something else, like writing letters, and maybe there's one honest person somewhere. Do you know right on the NASA website, they have like an area if you suspect fraud that you can send in like information to them.
Really? Yeah.
We're reporting it's like, I will report them. Like somehow I don't think that's going to work though. I really can't see it. This photo I thought was quite hilarious. Look at this nonsense. Like there's no reflections here that I could really see, and there's two nice monitors there, but it's just the ridiculousness of this propaganda and this stage, little scene here.
She's not there,
Of,
is she?
of the two astronauts together, working in a lab.
Wires, my favorite, the wires.
This is the thing I wanted to point out. Like, who in their right mind would even be able to figure this crap out? Like something they're floating through there, and they just brush their feet and they unplug a bunch of this stuff, and
hours it would have just taken to put that lot there.
This is just a bunch of crap. Like, why would this be designed this way? It's so ridiculously unorganized and willy-nilly all over the place, and it just makes no sense to be floating around and having all these wires exposed like this to catch their bodies on.
Allergic to bull wanted to ask if your thoughts on the ISS casting a shadow on Earth.
Casting a shadow?
What do you think with a question mark?
I don't. Well,
please ask Bling Bling what her thoughts on the ISS casting a shadow on Earth.
Well, to my knowledge, it does not cast a shadow on Earth. Should it at that distance?
Fly up as an aeroplane.
I mean, I watch it often because I have all the apps, and I get a notification to my iPhone that tells me the space station is going to be going by, coming in like northwest, traveling southeast at 65 degrees. And I get my my compass out.
So it's ridiculous.
I set it up. I watch it. I try to film it. It's very hard to actually capture it because you can't really set it on a tripod because it's moving so quickly. It's a light. To me, it's just a light. I'm waiting for the moment where I get that transit of the sun or the moon, and then be able to just set up my tripod and be able to use my P900 and get some, good recording of it that way. But I just haven't had a moon or sun transit in a long time. But as far as seeing it, when I do see it, it's just a friggin' light. It's just a light.
Yes, I see what Allergic to Bull is talking about, because when they show you the footage, they always show the ISS with a shadow on the Earth. Just saying that Allergic says it's on their footage, and it's right because I've seen it loads of times.
Wow, that's a great point. Yeah, I've never on the shadow.
Yeah,
don't notice that. Should be passing right over us. I had a was it 83 degrees or is it almost 90 degrees? I have to check. It was right over my head. And I don't recall any shadow crossing our path.
No, but when they're showing the footage, when they're showing you on their footage.
Well, no, I get it, Karen. Like that there's, of course, when they're faking it and showing it in their videos, where they're showing the ISS over the Earth and with a shadow, that makes absolutely no sense because when you're standing there watching it from the ground, there is no shadow there. So I guess that's a great little mistake that they're making, isn't it? Fake showing a shadow that you should be seeing the same thing when you're watching it from the ground.
As it's going so fast, I just they wouldn't say anything, but everything would be a blur, wouldn't it?
Well, I would think. I mean, I can't wrap my mind around that kind of speed. That's 10 times faster than a bullet coming out of a gun. So at 250 miles above our heads, somehow I think it should be traveling quicker than that. But how could we know? How could we comprehend it, that kind of speed? We can't, because we've never seen that. We have no idea what that would look like. But to me, it would be a lot faster than what I see in the sky.
Guess what, Bling Bling? It's all held together with sticky tape and wires.
Well, apparently the inside is a lot of wires. And you see, what kills me is, look at this monitor. It's been monkeyed with after the photo in post-production. They probably shot it, raw, and they tweaked it so there'd be no reflection in this screen. Just these two here. You can see the reflections. But I studied them and I couldn't find anything that was there. But that's too close for comfort, obviously. Whoever took the photograph didn't want to be seen, you know, in that reflection. And, you know, Chancellor here, her hair, if you look at photos of her before she went to space, and then you look at her hair in space, I guess space really, really made her hair beautiful. You know, I guess not really washing it properly for months on end, because it's thicker and fuller and shiny and darker. Her hair looked mousy and thin and icky on Earth when I looked at video and photos of how she looked when she was, you know, doing her training and everything else. And in fact, very close to when they launched to come to the space station. But as soon as she showed up, the first moment, in fact, she got to space and they do the press conference with the families, and she let that little band out of her hair. Her hair just shot straight up, really big and huge and full and thick looking. And I'm like, wow, her hair was not that thick looking on Earth. So once again, you know, they've gotten really good at faking the hair now, with how they're doing it.
Putting something in the chat room, Bling Bling, and it's true, because if their necklaces in that move, I'm always surprised that maybe sometimes their collars on their shirts wouldn't move. And then he said cheeks, their cheeks don't go flubber flubber.
Flubber flubber.
Yeah, there's no space, aren't there? If necklaces and things can move, paper can move. Surely bits of them occasionally would move, or the ends of their hair would still be moving. It wouldn't just be solid. It's just, oh my goodness.
Well, what frustrates me is, you know, my husband works for the federal government.
My husband,
over the years, you know, they've changed. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Bling Bling.
I'm here.
You just lost Bling Bling. Bling Bling.
What? I'm right here. Oh no.
Bling Bling, we can't hear you.
I'm right here. I'm here.
Bling Bling, you just showed the link. I'm going to have to end. Bling Bling, I can't hear you, and you just showed the link. So I'm just going to end the hangout. Sorry, everybody. That was really great so far. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Sorry, everybody.